Check, check, check. Oh, had to burp. Sorry. What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Red Seat live stream. I am your host, Corbin. I don't know, chat. I'm kind of in a mood today, for being honest. Let me say hello to everybody first, though, and turn on our Red Seat sign. Our lovely Red Seat sign, by the way. Can you guys hear me on this screen, too? I got a new computer, so I had to reset everything back up. It's a work in progress, but I think we're getting there slowly but surely. Let's say hello. Mr. Money Mike Madness, what's going on today, my friend? Mr. Bob Dylan, hello, hello. Poke D, how you doing? Devers debut close. What up, Dinah? Love my channel, love my videos. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. It means a lot to me. Michaela, how are you? John, how's it going? Jace, Josh, Negative, what's going on? Yeah, I didn't really know what to title this video. Christian, how you doing? I feel like I'm starting a little bit earlier. We're going to let people come in. I'm in a mood tonight, chat. I don't know. I'm in a mood. I've got a couple of things I need to get off my chest. A couple of different people. Although I will say, we're going to start off our live stream with this bad boy. Hey, Eric, how you doing? We're going to start off our live stream with this bad boy. I didn't even pull it up. I should pull it up. The game is live right now, by the way. First rant I'm going to go on. This is, I think I've watched 6 spring training games. And last year I watched almost every single one. What are we doing? Where's the live feed? How is there not even how do you not even have a camera in center field that you don't hire broadcasters, you don't pay them, you just point it towards home plate and let us watch it like a single A game? How do you not have any of that? It's spring training. What are you doing? Anyways, the reason I'm on this rant is because Tristan Casas, he came back from the flu. And what did he do? Oh, Tristan Casas finally started to actually hit, ladies and gentlemen. So here's what was taken from us. Here's what was taken from us. Here's what we could not watch. An absolute nuclear missile over the park for a 3-run home run. That's ridiculous. You know what? I would have liked to see that. I don't know about you guys. I would have liked to have seen that. I feel like I'm smaller down here. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But that's my first rant. That's my first rant. Boston wins 90 games. I could see it. Yeah, that was mine. What up, AJ? Love the trailer for the documentary. Yeah, the trailer looked really good. I'm super excited for this documentary. This is my second thing. I've been saving all of these rants for this stream because I don't know. I've just been ranting. I might change the title of this video because we are going to go over the Red Sox bullpen. But it's really more of a genuine, overarching conversation about, I'm doing it right now. I'm talking myself into changing the title. I'm going to put news first, and then we're going to talk about the bullpen. Red Sox Spring Training news update. There we go. We're saving that. That's what we're doing. I'm not touching it again. Because he got bombed, AJ. He went back in and he was fine the second inning. He's good. Healthy. What's up, Max? How you doing, Wes? What's up? Not much, man. What's up with you? Jack, how you doing? Yeah, thank God. Yeah, we don't need any more pitching injuries. The second thing that is driving me nuts today, in general, is the Red Sox are on now. Actually, I was trying to get did I fix it? Nope. I can't get the scores on stream. They're there somewhere. I can't get them though. I can't figure out how to put them back on screen. I had them. I had the live scores. It's right here. Oops. Let's not show you guys. Well, I mean, you guys don't really care. This is how many people are currently watching. Yeah, I had this up. I don't know if I can legally show this. I wonder if I do this. And sort of gonna put that there, put you here, stream alerts. Maybe I just make it big enough and just put it like there. Huh? I think we figured something out, chat. I think we figured something out. I'll move this. Maybe I'll move that over there and then put me kind of in the middle here. Not bad. I mean, we're going to figure this out for the regular season. I have some stuff cooking for the regular season. But we'll keep this up. Any juicy news about the Red Sox? Nothing super crazy. We talked about that. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Red Sox opening day lineup. Because Alex Cora gave us a preview of that, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Outside of that, I think the big things are the bullpen right now, right? I think that's a massive question. And then ultimately what the roster construction is going to look like. And we've sort of been talking about that a lot recently. So here's a couple of rants for you. I've seen a lot of people with this Rafael Devers thing, right? I've seen a lot of people starting to get worried. Right, they're starting to sit there and they're starting to say, "Oh my God, is Rafael Devers just either boycotting, or is he not going to be ready for opening day?" Here's my answer to that: is if you're Rafael Devers, right, and as Alex Cora's been saying, what's up, Robbie? As Alex Cora's been saying, as Rafi's been saying, they're trying to get his swing back to what it was, right? They talked about it. He got his bat plane way off because of his shoulder issues last year. It was how he was able to deal with it. So he's trying to break that habit and get back to what he was before his shoulders start to really bug him. Now, let's remember that. And then let's look at the context as to what he's been doing so far this spring training, right? Because it hasn't been televised. It hasn't been legitimate. Overall success for Rafael Devers at the, I don't know, televised level, right? Because he's not getting into official games. But if you're Rafael Devers and you're trying to fix that swing, what's a better situation for you? Think about it in your mind, right? Would you rather, again, trying to fix your swing, play a spring training game where you get 4 at-bats, probably 3, right? One of them's against maybe a major league starter. Depends. Are you home? Are you away? What part of the spring is it, right? Are there guys still fighting for roster spots? Maybe one major league reliever. And then the rest of the guys you face, if you face anyone else, are going to be minor league players. Or would you rather stay on the backfields where you could sit in that box 3 or 4 times in a row and face Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, Lucas Giolito, Brian Bayo, Richard Fitz, Quinn Priester, all these guys, right? $10 super chat from C-Man. He's coming in hot. Can we get some likes on that, please? Thank you very much, C-Man. I appreciate you. Yanks will pull a trade out of their butts. Sadly, the Yankees are like that turd that floats back up no matter how many times you flush. Nah, they won't. I really don't think that. Maybe they do make a trade. They don't have much to trade. Like, genuinely. If they wanted to get Sandy Alcantara, if I'm the Marlins, I'm like, yeah, you guys are interesting, but let's wait a little bit. Right? Let's wait a little bit. Maybe someone else gets injured into spring training. Maybe by the deadline, people are looking for pitching. And then all of a sudden you get guys like the Cubs, the Mariners, the Rays, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, who have a much deeper farm system. If I'm the Marlins, the last people I want to trade with are the Yankees, unless they blow them away. And the only way to blow them away is to trade major league talent, which is just going to make your team worse. So the Yankees are in a really bad spot, man. The Yankees are in a really bad spot. I would love to see the Yankees bring back Alex Verdugo. I'd be so psyched about it. Hey, look at Masataka Yoshida. Put Walker to closer. God, no. You have 3 injuries in your rotation. You want to take one of your starters out of it? I'm good with that. Thank you, though. How worried am I about Giolito? Not crazy worried about him yet. Not crazy worried about him yet. I'll get worried if we get back to, if he misses his next start, then we'll have a problem. Ali, thank you so much for watching from Germany, man. I appreciate you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. What happened to the super chat goals? We can make a super chat goal. I don't know. What do you guys want the goal to be? Why did Houck leave tonight? He had a bad first inning. They wanted to give him a clean start in the second. He came back into the second and pitched pretty well. What channel is the game on? Not on TV, right? Not on TV. The least we can say regarding Devers, they haven't been transparent. But here's my question. What do you mean they haven't been transparent, right? Alex Cora gave a very in-depth analysis about where Rafael Devers is, what they're working on, and why he's not playing in the game. I don't know what more you need for you to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Again, I'll pull up the article. We'll just pull up the article. I don't know where it is. If I go to MLB.com and /Red Sox and go to what? I don't. Where's the blog site for MLB? I don't know. Oh wait. Here. Let's read the exact quote together. Let me get my big head out of the way. There you go. Okay. He's on point as far as what he needs, as far as the swing. The whole path and inside pitch is something that he lost last year because of the shoulders, and he's been working very hard on that path. It's not a different swing, just a different path, to be honest with you. It's been trending in the right direction. He's been off a little bit. Last week, he felt like he wasn't getting to pitches and all that. I get the whole thing with the big field, but 2 at-bats against big leaguers, he's actually getting more at-bats in the backfield. He's getting there. But I think the whole progress from when he got here in January to where he's at now, he feels a lot more comfortable on the inside pitch. You see it the way he's driving the ball to left center, which is something that he missed late last year. That is as in-depth analysis as you could possibly get, right? It's exactly what I was saying. If you're Rafael Devers, and again, your entire bat path is off because the way you had to swing last year just simply to stay on the field, and now that you're healthy, you're like, hey, let's fix that. What's the better way to fix it? Against maybe one major leaguer and then a whole bunch of AA and AAA guys, or guys who aren't going to make a major league roster, or facing your elite pitching staff? Right, the Red Sox have a top 5 projected pitching staff in Major League Baseball. Those guys are constantly throwing 2-inning bullpens in the backfield. Rafael Devers is just sitting in that box taking 8 ABs a day. If you're Rafael Devers, which one's more beneficial to you? It's such an easy answer, isn't it? Yeah, the backfield seems way more beneficial. The only thing that going into spring training games does is put a face to a crowd. That's it. Right? Especially if your plan, and everyone's been saying it, hey, we want Rafael Devers to DH. Okay, this dude's focusing on getting his hitting right. And you're sitting there and you're saying, well, wait a second, why isn't he in games, right? If you want to be a DH, what does it matter if he's getting reps at third base? Right? And he's doing that too, behind on the backfield. It's not like this guy, if Rafael Devers was not playing, if Rafael Devers was doing absolutely nothing, but facing maybe, I don't know, a Noah Dean or a Brian Van Bell once or twice a day, he was taking 2 ABs, then I'd be like, okay, something's up here. But it's very clear that Rafael Devers, it's not, I'm unhappy, I'm boycotting the Boston Red Sox. He's back there getting more at-bats than the guys who are on the field. So I don't get how we sit here and how everyone goes, well, he needs to be in games. He needs to be in games. If I live in Market Bend, dude, I don't know. The only way I could see it is I bought Neston 360. It's like $30 a month, but if you watch every Red Sox game, it is kind of worth it. in my opinion. I mean, every single game's on there. How can I watch the game? Good question. I'd love to answer that for you. I don't know. Hey, Alistair. What's up, man? But there's the question negative. What could they possibly be covering up? They're being totally open and honest as to what he's doing on the backfield. What up, Mike? Okay, Keith, if Devers' injury was so serious, how is he taking 8 ABs a day? How is he doing that? What's up, Speed Racer? Haven't seen him throw lately. Everyone wanted him to be a DH. Now everyone's complaining when he's doing DH things. Like, this is driving me crazy. This is driving me like what are we doing? Right? Like, I will here's a video of him throwing. Let's find a video of him throwing. When's this from? That was from this year. Where's the video? This is gonna take a long time. Oh, here it is. Looks pretty fine to me. I don't know, guys. So there's video evidence of him throwing, right? Am I on full cam? No, I'm not. What up, Chills? But Robbie, the only difference right now, right? The only difference right now is that you can't see the at-bats. Right? You cannot see the at-bats. It's the only difference. There's a different intensity. You're telling me it is more intense for Rafael Devers to go up against let's take a look. Right now, the Red Sox are going up against someone who's not even in their projected rotation. Or on their 40-man roster. Versus going up against Garrett Crochet. What are we doing? What do you mean that's more intense? These are spring training games. If he was missing regular season games, yes. We're talking about spring training here. Joe Ryan got 1 inning. He got 1 inning. We're in the 4th inning, and there's already been three different pitchers. Fenway, I'm really, really sorry to hear that, man. Welcome back to the live streams. I hope you're doing well. And you know, we'll always be here. Every Wednesday we'll be here for you. So you know, prayers to you and your family. It's a really tough thing to deal with, man. I can't imagine that loss. So you know, I'm keeping you in my thoughts, man. I really am, and I'm glad you're back. Hopefully, we could be a bit of a distraction. You know. Any idea of the updated rotation? Yeah, it kind of has to be, at least in my opinion, right now, Alistair. In my opinion, it has to be Crochet, Hauk, Bueller. Crochet, Houck, Bueller, Fitz, Priester, I think. It is really the only thing I would go with. And the other option is Cooper Criswell. He's fine, right? I think higher ceiling with both Priester and Fitz. I don't know if Criswell has many options left, to be honest with you. If he might only have one. So Criswell only has one left, which means if you bring him up to this major league team and then option him back down to AAA once either Bayo or Giolito, we don't even know if Giolito's going to be out for the start of the season, right? Tomorrow we could find out now he's fine, right? If you bring up Cooper Criswell and then one of those guys comes back within the first couple of weeks, the only way you can get him back up to the major leagues again is to bring him up, and then you'd have to DFA him. So I don't think Criswell is really an option for opening day. I would say it's Priester and Fitz. For sure. How is Kyle Teal done? I don't know. Let's see. Hitting pretty well. 10 games, 333 average, 444 on base percentage, 800 slugging. He's got 2 home runs. I would imagine he gets a pretty decent amount of playing time behind the dish. You know what I mean? Yoshida IL. Yeah, Yoshida probably signed the IL so they could play Bregman at third and Rafi at DH. I think that's exactly what they're going to end up doing, right? That to me, I don't think that opens up the door for Anthony all that much. I think it allows the Red Sox an excuse to put Devers at DH. Honestly. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, Nicholas. I hope you're doing well, man. $5 super chat from CH. Crawford's no loss to rotation, but keep Criswell. Crawford's definitely a loss, especially when you're talking about injuries, right? If you're talking about Giolito coming back from injury, Bueller, who hasn't pitched a full season in a while, Crochet even hasn't pitched a full season yet, innings are going to be extremely important. Make sure we like that message, by the way, from CH. I really appreciate you, CH. I get it, right? He had a rough year last year. I don't think I don't think that Crawford's useless. My thoughts on Toro. Toro, in my opinion, is back up first base. Like depth wise. Why would the Netflix show affect this year's team? What happened to the Sogard show promised? I know. I need to do that. It's going to I think maybe tomorrow's. It's either going to be tomorrow or Saturdays. I'm debating between two, Keith. AI predicting the Red Sox season and Sogard. And I think Sogard makes more sense, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to talk about Sogard this week. If Anthony's healthy all spring, he probably makes it. Getting sick and losing 10 pounds makes it tough. Yeah, 10 pounds is going to make it tough. It's the same thing like happened with Grissom. It's going to take him a little bit to regain that. Priester, future number 1 or 2? I'll remember it, CH. I'll remember it. Any clubhouse issues from last year being brought to light? Nah, man. I don't think so. I think I think for a lot of these, I think Red Sox fans in general are trying to be like, oh, what can tear this team down kind of thing. They don't seem to have any issues with anything. Obviously, they aren't going to be outward with it regardless, but I just don't see how a Netflix show, there's going to be tough things in there, but I would more so believe that these guys, I would probably venture to guess that, even if there were issues in the clubhouse that were in this video that we're going to see, they've already been addressed with, you know what I mean? Want to see who hung out with who? Yeah, I am kind of curious of that too. It's going to be a really interesting documentary. One of the rants I wanted to go on tonight, was I'm kind of more interested in the Red Sox bad team versus the Red Sox good team, right? We've seen all the documentaries about World Series teams, right? The behind the scenes, the in the clubhouse of World Series winners. I am kind of curious to see how. Have I had a fluff on my face this entire live stream and no one said anything to me? Who was it? Whose job was that? Someone dropped the ball. Are we? Where's the these guys are fighting in the clubhouse thing coming from? You know what I mean? Where is that coming from? There was nothing in the trailer that was like, oh my God. But like to me, when you're looking at the Red Sox season last year, there were so many ups and downs. There were so many highs and so many lows. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see, how the Red Sox dealt with that behind the scenes. I want to know what it's like for, we've seen what it's like for players to, battle some adversity and then win. But I don't know. I honestly, Patrick, I'm not too familiar. Like I understand it enough, right? But I don't know truly in the weeds of what one option means. To me, I think when you talk about options, I think when you have one left, you can get called up, sent down, and then after a certain amount of days, when you're sent down, if you get brought back up, that option's gone, I believe. You know what I mean? How Fitz be used this year? Fitz to me is your seventh starter. He's going to be sort of your everything. You know what I mean? Hey, Dennis, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. Do we have a settlement at third base? Not yet. Sure looking like it's going to be Bregman at third, though. We'll see. Yeah, I don't remember any drama either, to be honest with you, Keith. Like, I don't know where the who fights more thing came from. You know what I mean? I'd rather continue to develop Fitz as I would agree with you, Robbie. I don't think Fitz is really the guy that you'd put into a long relief role. I think of the options, I think Dobbins is an interesting one for a long reliever. Criswell, I think you make a long reliever. Yeah, I think that's it. Had the highest. Now they didn't have the highest offer negative. They said they were willing to match the Mets offer if Juan Soto said he would definitely come to the Red Sox. Do I see Devers playing another field position besides third? The only way I see that is if they trade Tristan. And if they trade Tristan, they're out of contention. You know what I mean? Fitz ceiling is higher than who? Do I think Alex Cora will put Rafael Devers in the DH until his shoulders get better? I think that's what they're gonna say. But again, you talk about you trade Devers for Vlad. Here's what drives me nuts with that. Is Vladdy's already said he's no longer negotiating during the season, right? So if you trade Devers for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., one, you want Vladdy DHing? Who are you going to put at DH? Two, you have no guarantee that this guy's coming back. You could trade Rafael Devers, and so for the next 10 years, Rafael Devers is a Toronto Blue Jay. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a guaranteed Red Sox for one season. What is the reaction if you trade Devers for Vladimir straight up, and then Vladdy Jr. goes to the Dodgers or the Giants or the Yankees or the Mets or whoever? What's the reaction? That's not my question. Yeah, that's exactly what would happen, Robbie. like to say that you would trade Devers for Vladdy is just you being upset that Rafael Devers was honest in his first take with the media. And then you've paid attention to nothing else since. And that's what drives me nuts is people heard his first segments or clips on talk radio, or they saw it on Twitter, or maybe they watched my video and they came to a conclusion and that was it. Right? He's a crybaby. He's a pudgy crybaby. Since when? Right? He made his feelings known at the beginning here. There's been no signs of frustration with him. So, but people are still willing to trade your star. How people have forgotten that Rafael Devers is by far and away your best hitter. One of the most talented hitters of all time for the Boston Red Sox is baffling to me over some comments. It makes no sense to me. None. It's like we totally like he complains one time and people are like, yep, the last 6 years they meant nothing. Trade him. Bum. Get him out of Boston. He can't handle it. Can't handle what? Right, the pressure of Boston? This dude has been nothing but excellent. Only in Boston. How much crap has he gone through here? He came up, won a World Series, the best Red Sox team of all time. Right? And then from 2019 to 2019 was still solid. They should have done more. They didn't. Right? Then 2020 is like the worst season ever. 21, okay, they bounce back. 22, he loses his best friend. He loses his mentor in JD Martinez. 23, he's pushed into this, you're now the leader of the Boston Red Sox role. Their ass. Last year, they get close, and then his body falls apart on him, despite him being a top player in Major League Baseball, and they can't get it again. How much more do we have to sit here with Rafael Devers until we're like, yeah, this dude can actually handle Boston? It drives me crazy. Spidey sense is tingling about Devers' shoulders. How could it be tingling? Tito, you need to get your Spidey sense checked, I think. I generally think that's the only answer. Because if your Spidey sense are tingling about his shoulders while he's taking 8 at-bats a day against your top 2 pitchers in the organization, right, you may not have a Spidey sense. I don't want to be the one to break it to you. You might not be Spider-Man. That's all I'm saying, right? I don't know. I will sit here and I don't care if 4 people watch me. And I will be aggravated. I will. I will defend Rafael Devers to the day I die because I just simply do not understand. 25 months. 25 months from Mike. That is over 2 years, folks. That is over 2 years. And he comes in with a wild trade. A wild trade. There is not a chance that Blue Jays take that. Even you would have to do like how much is Story owed? How much is Moss is owed? Like $90 million, I think. Story's owed 25. Well, if he opts out, but what are the odds he opts out? 75 million. Yeah, you'd have to include like $100 million in that deal to get it done. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you being here. I should be having the game up. I had the game up to start, and then I don't know. Tito, dude, yeah, okay. I'm willing to bet your Spidey sense is wrong. Like, I'm willing to place a bet that your Spidey sense is wrong. I don't think I can show this part, but I could show the other part, so we're just going to... There you go. Am I worried about Story? I'll be worried about... So, like I said in the video today, I kind of figured this wouldn't be a one-day thing, that they were going to keep him out for a couple of days. I'll get worried about Story if he misses 4 or 5 games. That's when I'll be worried about Story. The plan already, by the way, talking about Devers and Story. Tomorrow's yeah, Tito, it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts that we can't watch any of these games. The plan tomorrow, by the way, is it's the futures game. For those of you who are interested, obviously the big three, but like Blaze, Mike Romero, Franklin Arias, Yoel Cespedes, all those guys, they're getting into games. They're getting into the game tomorrow. But while that's going on, the Red Sox are playing backfield game against the Twins. Guess who's going to be in the lineup, folks? Story and Devers. So I'm not really worried about Story. Again, I understand why people are worried about Story. I am, obviously, there's part of me that's like, whew, right? Please God kind of thing. But until he misses, because with position players too, you could sort of miss 4 or 5 games and still be perfectly fine for opening day. Like, we might not even see Rafael Devers in a Red Sox uniform until March 27th at this point, and he'll probably still hit, 330 in his debut against the Rangers or whatever. I'm not really worried if a position player misses a couple of days. Now, Giolito, on the other hand, that's a different conversation. Devers isn't a team player. Trade him for a real ball player like Chris Bryant. Yeah, there we go. Right. Facebook figured it out, folks. If we just trade Rafael Devers for Chris Bryant, the Red Sox win the World Series. Yeah, we got to talk about the closer for sure, Ben. Oh, we're going to have a rough water bottle day, apparently. This water bottle is so fickle. And it dribbles. I need to get a new water bottle. We need to get a new water bottle. Cuban Missile, yeah, he looked good. Look at that. Strike out Royce Lewis, strike out Willie Castro, got Ryan Jeffers to ground out. Those are 3 big leaguers. So I'm curious to see. I'm going to put a poll up right now, actually. Who's your opening day closer? I'm curious to see where you guys land on this, because I have an opinion, but I want to know your guys' opinion first. Dave, I wish I could be like, oh yeah, I know that one. Sorry. So it's Chapman right now. So my kind of interesting take here is that I don't know. I wish baseball reference used to have like a calculation. How many save opportunities did he get? How many did he close? Right? Because even this spring, dude. Here's my problem. Here's my problem this spring with Chapman. Now, obviously, this inning was a bit different, right? So take that into consideration. He's now at 4 innings pitched. He has 6 strikeouts, but he also has 4 walks in 3.5 innings. Now it's 8 strikeouts and 4 walks, and we've known that, right? That's who he's been. Did I just lose you guys? I lost the live stream. I think we're back, though. We're back. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Players are raving about Whitlock. Whitlock apparently looks pretty good. I can see all the happiness in my way. Whitlock is healthy. Yeah. I have a bet with this guy, Ralph, who was in this chat a while ago. He was like, no, Whitlock will start in the 60-day. I was like, no. Whitlock wants to be the closer. I would love Whitlock to be the closer. How is Whitlock? Whitlock only has one inning this spring, though. I don't know that they give him that role immediately. I think immediately it comes down to either Hendricks or Chapman. Here's the issue, right? They're both having issues, in my opinion, in different ways. Chapman's throwing well. The problem is he's just like the problem is that he's just not fixing his problem with the zone, right? He's still having issues finding the zone. And to be fair, everyone is having issues finding the zone, right? Spring training. You try different things, it doesn't work. Okay, great. We're gonna try something else. Look at Houck today, right? How did Houck do? He ended up what? 2 innings, 4 earned. I don't think anyone. 2 2/3 innings, 5 earned. Right? You're not sitting there being like, Houck's gonna bring that into the regular season, right? Now this was his first official start of spring training. I don't think that's a real issue. I just don't know. I get that aspect, Tito. I just the problem for me is that the Chapman who won with the Cubs was almost 10 years ago. Right? Almost 10 years ago. Totally different player. And the player that won with Texas, what was that, 23? Yeah, the player with Texas, he was a mediocre pitcher, right? He had a 3.72 ERA. And he wasn't the closer of that team. So to sit there and be like, yeah, Chapman's got the experience with rings, I guess you could kind of say that, but at the same time, right? He's also had really bad experiences in the playoffs, and he's only the closer for one of them, and it was 10 years ago. And even then, he got 16 saves. He's pretty good. But you see my point, right? I don't know. And then they talk about Hendricks, right? And Hendricks has been my guy since the season started, right? I've said that for a while. Liam Hendricks, that's who I want. That's who I want as the closer of the Boston Red Sox. But it's also tough to say that because again, 2 appearances ago, you sat there and you're like, okay, he's shaking the rust off. But now you're at 4 appearances. You've given up 2 home runs. You've allowed 6 earned. The good news is you haven't walked anybody, right? You're striking. You're really pounding the zone. You're not getting a ton of swing and miss either. You've got 3 strikeouts. You're sitting 93, 94, which is fine. But when you were a dominant closer, right, back in that 22 range where you had a 2.81 ERA, back in that 21 range where you had a 2.54 ERA, right, back in those 2 ranges. Those top 10 Cy Young finish seasons, right? You were sitting 96, 97, 98. That's exactly my worry, versatility. That's exactly my worry. Is at 36 years old, is he ready yet to be the closer of the Boston Red Sox? So then the question becomes, who is? Right? Who is ready to be that guy? I love Luis Guerrero. He's had a lot of trouble hitting the zone lately too. Again, working on things. But if you're using spring training strictly as your sort of trial period for these people, does he win the job? Slayton's looked solid, but he also at the same time hasn't had a ton of game experience yet. Let me see where he's at. No, not Doug Slayton. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to look up. Lefty Doug Slayton. If anyone could tell me what team Doug Slayton played for a majority of his career, I'll give you something. I don't know. Someone gift whoever guesses that a sub. Slayton's looked really good. He's just not missing a ton of bats. Nationals and Reds, I think that's correct. Pittsburgh is who he ended up with. I don't know if that was a majority. You're probably right, versatility. I think it was Pittsburgh. Devers is going to be the closer? Yeah, there you go. Is Fitz possible going there? No, you need Fitz in the rotation right now. As of right now, you need him. So that Chance, that's sort of the question right now, right? If you move everyone up to, let's say you go Chapman's your 7th, Hendricks is your 8th, and then you put Slayton in there somewhere, right? Could you make Garrett Whitlock a closer? Could you make him a closer? I don't know. To me, this is the most interesting part of the team, right? Because I think most people would agree that the lineup looks pretty good, even with the injuries in the rotation. Bayo's not major. Giolito's doesn't appear to be major, even if he misses time. The rotation looks fine. The lineup looks fantastic, regardless of what happens between the Devers, Bregman thing. Even if Massa starts in the IL, it looks great. You've got all those prospects. It's the back end of the bullpen. And it comes down to, can Chapman or Whitlock or Hendricks figure it out? I don't know. I don't have an answer, right? And the interesting part of this is that you're right, versatility. They are a set closer away from essentially being a whole list team right now, which is crazy, right? You could sit there and you could say you could see the top 5 projections for the rotation. You could see the top 10 projections for the lineup, even higher, to be honest with you, right? MLB just put out their offensive rankings. They had the Red Sox as the best lineup in the AL, right? You could see how that happens. You put a closer, and here's the thing, right? You have 11 more games left before the regular season kicks off. Now, 2 of them are exhibition games in Mexico, but that's still going to be a solid spot for you to be able to take a peek at these guys. Let's say, it's not full-blown panic yet. It's not. Because, especially when you're talking just strictly ERA or home runs allowed, right? All of a sudden, 2 home runs allowed, and let's say Hendricks gets 10 innings of work before the spring training's up, right? 2 home runs in 10 innings, especially in the first 4 innings that he pitched. You're going to be like, okay, you know what I mean? They're spring training stats. That's fine. Chapman's kind of a similar situation, right? The walks look terrible now, but let's say over the next 5 innings that he pitches before opening day, he walks 2 batters. Then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, you could see where that's going to work, right? But it's an interesting conversation because if that doesn't happen, you guys know, I hate the idea. I hate the idea of a closer by committee. I think it's so dumb. Even if it is Chapman and Hendricks, I don't love it because I think what that does is it puts everyone else kind of into limbo, right? If you have Hendricks is your closer, Chapman's your setup man, then everyone else kind of knows, okay, 6th inning, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get that mentality going. I know I'm most likely going into this game. But if you can't figure that out, then there are going to be days where you're sitting there as a reliever and you're like, boy, I don't know if I'm coming in the 6th or the 9th. And those are 2 totally different situations mentally for these guys, right? You go from, okay, I just need to bridge the gap. We're up by 3. If I give up 2 runs, it sucks. I hate it. But I didn't blow the game. If you're coming into the 9th to shut a game down, more than likely it's a close game. You don't have that wiggle room. You have to have that mentality of, I'm going out there, I am getting 3 dudes out and that's it, right? And obviously that's the mentality all the time. I get that, right? But it's so much more increased in that 9th inning. So what you're doing is you're jumbling mentalities in the bullpen. If you can't figure out who that closer is, even if it ends up being, okay, it's going to be one of 3, Slayton, Hendricks, Chapman, is that the only situations you can use them in? No, you can't. You can't have a viable bullpen like that. So what do these guys do, right? Again, you go back to Hendricks and Chapman, they understand that mentality, but if you're going to start relying on these guys like Slayton and Whitlock and Guerrero possibly to be a part-time closer, they're going to have to learn real quick about that mentality, and that just doesn't make sense to me if they also, on top of having to learn that mentality, have to also get themselves prepared for, hey, you're coming in the 6th. Hey, you're coming in the 7th. Oh, crap. Giolito gave up 12 in the 3rd. We gotta figure out how to get through 9 innings here. Get in there and give us 2 innings, right? I don't know. I hate the idea of it. Sorry for the rant, chat. I feel like I've been ranting a lot today. As much of a headache that Kenley was last year, he at least helped define bullpen roles thanks to being the closer. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that for sure. I feel like we're behind on this. No, I guess not. Right? So that the closer thing's driving me a little bit crazy. It's driving me a little bit crazy. But again, we've got we've got what? 2 weeks, 15 days exactly to figure that out. And again, is there a reason we would start Massa on the IL? Yeah, I still think Massa starts in the IL. That's just my opinion, and I think it's because the Red Sox are they want that flexibility with being able to put Rafael Devers at DH, so they can get a guy like Grissom or Hamilton up here to start. So I think they're going to put Massa on the IL until he's ready to play the field too, because he's not ready to play the field yet, and I think that's it. I don't know why they haven't made a move for Helsley unless Seattle's waiting to the deadline to get a better prospects. You know what my theory is, versatility, is my sort of like tinfoil hat on a little bit, is that the Cardinals spent the entire offseason trying to attach Helsley to Arenado to get a bigger prospect haul for him back, right? Oh, you take on more money, but you also get Ryan Helsley, and hey, like that's a dude, right? And then they got to spring training and they said, well, wait a second, we'll just wait. Anthony gifted a member. Liam, make sure you say thank you to Anthony. Welcome in, Anthony. It's good to see you, my friend. Always coming in with the gifted subs. I appreciate you. I do think it's possible Breslow waits to DL to figure out what to do at closer. If we need to, we'll trade for a closer. I would hate having a closer by committee for half a year, though. That's too long, in my opinion. Do we know if we're putting Bregman at second base? I at this point, I think he's going to be third baseman, and they're going to start Moss on the IL and Devers at DH, maybe for a first couple of games, and then they have like, and then they have Bregman play a game at DH here or there. Maybe Bregman plays some second base. I think they make it a little bit interesting with Devers, but I think ultimately they're going to put Massa on the IL to start the year, which sucks for Massa, because if they just put Bregman at second base like they were saying when they signed him, I don't think there'd be an issue. All right, Robbie. Hey man, have a good one. I appreciate you being here, police in the chat. It means a lot to me, man. Is there any legitimacy to Sandy the Sox this year? It won't happen now, right? It won't happen now. I don't think the Marlins even think about trading him until the deadline. What up, Kit Kat? I think if it doesn't sort itself out by the end of the first 30 games, they make a move. The Red Sox are being proactive this year. I don't think they wait until the deadline, Johnny. Roger Clemens? Yeah, I don't think so. Who's going to make this team for the opener that's going to surprise everyone? I think the surprise that Trace Thompson doesn't make the opening day roster. I think everyone wants him to. I don't really totally see a reason for him to be on the opening day roster unless you really think Willie Abreu is going to be out for a little bit. I think Nick Sogard is going to be a guy that makes the bench, that people are like, why the hell did this guy make the bench? And then he's going to be a pretty decent part of what the Red Sox do this year. Nothing crazy, right? He'll be a 1.5 WAR player, but he'll have some big moments, I think. I think it's Nick Sogard who's going to surprise everybody. What's happening? Why is Costas not up yet? Dude, I don't know. Like maybe this just timed out. It did. What just happened? Oh, there was a bunch of defensive substitutions. Cooper Criswell. Oh, Garrett Whitlock just pitched. How'd he do? 2 strikeouts and a pop out for Garrett Whitlock as we're talking about him. Pretty good. Whitlock looks solid. Criswell's in now. I don't know why this just didn't do anything for me. Dude, scrolling through the rosters is absolutely ridiculous. Like their bullpen's like 50 people. Let's see who's in. Speaking of, Sogard's in left field. That's interesting. Sogard went to left field to take over for Roman Anthony. Romy Gonzalez is in at second base. Ferguson, Hickey's in, Toro's in, Miguel Blaze is in. Some interesting names in there. Good to see Meyer back out there. He was sick for a little bit. Good to see Anthony back out there too, honestly. He probably does versatility. Here's my problem with that though. Is like with Thompson, like honestly at this point, yeah, Thompson's having a crazy spring, but like I don't know. I just like he's one of those guys where everyone goes crazy for the spring training stats. So he gets to the regular season, and you're like, why the hell did this guy make the team? Like I feel like that was every year with Bobby Dahlbeck, right? Bobby would have like 5 home runs. We'd be like, okay, and I would do the same thing, right? I'd be like, oh my god, this is the year. Hey, Ryan Fitzgerald, let's go. What was I saying? Yeah, Bobby Dahlbeck was kind of like that, right? And then he would come in and he'd have like an 082 batting average after like 30 plate appearances, and you'd be like, my God, right? Why is this guy on the opening day roster? But unfortunately, it's the only thing you have to go off of. So you have to sit here and you have to say, hey, what are we doing? You know what I mean? $2 super chat from CH. CH, you are going crazy tonight, man. You do not need to be this generous. I appreciate it, but really, save yourself some money, buy yourself a new baseball card or something. I appreciate that, man. Put 21 back into circulation. You know what? Put 21 back into circulation. Thompson's always had that pop. It's consistency, but that's my point. If you're missing Wilyer Abreu for, let's say, a month or even 2 or 3 weeks, putting Thompson in, a guy who's either hot or ice cold, might not be the best idea in the world, right? When you could do a Nick Sogard in left field, and I don't see, the Red Sox seem to have some issue with the idea of Jaron Duran in center and say Don in right. I think it'd be perfectly fine. I don't think anyone would really be, even if you did Duran and right, he doesn't really have the arm, which could be a bit of an issue, but like he's going to get to baseballs, right? Again, especially if it's 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know when Wilyer Abreu is coming back, but no different than O'Neill, though, and he had a good season. It's a little bit different than O'Neill. A little bit, in my opinion, because O'Neill, yes, he was streaky, but he was also, you know, he had experience, like 142 games where in his rookie year where he had a 115 OPS plus, or 138 games where he had a 148 OPS plus, right? It's tough for me to sit here and be like, we can compare Trace Thompson to Tyler O'Neill when Trace has never had a full season in Major League Baseball. It's like at least with O'Neill, you could sit there and you could say that's a at points especially in 21 that's a 5-tool player, right? He had speed. He had arm strength. He was a good defender. He was hitting tanks, and the contact was there as well. You haven't really seen that. Like Thompson's had good stretches, but good stretches for weeks, and then he'd go down, and then it'd be like, okay, you can't regain it. We're going to send him down to minor league baseball. I don't know. It's a weird conversation to have. Minor league scrubs. Let me see if he's gotten any more action against. Has he gotten any more action? The opponent quality score is still sitting between AA and AAA. Yeah, most of his at-bats are coming against minor league players. Most of them. Which is again, it's super interesting because you sit there and it's like, yeah, we can all get dude. The stats with Thompson are ridiculous. 375 batting average, 531 on base percentage with a 1.208 slug, not OPS, slug. He almost has a 200 OPS. We didn't get rid of Yo Stinson. He's just in minor league baseball now, Liam. Like, that's absurd, right? So it's hard to not be like, hey, wait a second here. He's got 3 stolen bases, as many walks as he does strikeouts. You could sit here and make the argument. I'm not saying you can. My point is, you know, if Williers, if they're going to be like, okay, Williers is going to be out for 2 months, right? Then I'd go Trace. But then at that point, do you just bring up Anthony? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What would you guys do? Let me ask you. Let's say Willie Abreu. So right now, Core is saying he's 3 weeks behind, right? They should put Thompson against better talent, see if he can keep up. I'm curious if it's just a matter of because he's been getting a lot of starts. He's been getting a lot of games started. So I don't. It might just be circumstance, honestly, versatility. This is what I was talking about with the Devers stuff that you missed. I think I thought Campbell was ready, but he's been struggling. He does have a 5-game hit streak now. He's been doing better lately. This is why, like, it's tough to overreact to good or bad spring training starts. Even though I'm about to make a video about why I think Nick Sogard deserves an opening day spot, even though it's just minor league, or it's just spring training statistics. Yeah. Overall, Campbell's still struggling. What's interesting with Campbell is that there's just no power. There's just no power. At least it's spring training. Yeah, but that's my point, right? Thompson is killing it right now. I wonder honestly, versatility with Thompson, if they're sitting him on the backfield. I feel like the big three haven't done enough to force their hand. I will say Marcelo Meyer of the big three. It's hard to say Marcelo in terms of haven't done enough. He's faced the highest quality of opponent, which is great, right? Of the 3, he's been facing the most high quality opponents in terms of levels here. And he's hitting 381 with a 458 on base percentage and a 1.077 OPS. Right? If we're talking about battling their way onto an opening day roster, pretty good, right? That's pretty good. Roman, I think, was on track to actually make a legitimate push. He just got sick, right? He lost 10 pounds. There's no way he starts the year with the team now. But he was looking good too, man. He only has 6 games. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. But he was hitting 308 with a 500 on base percentage and 885 slug. It seemed like it's really just a really good spring training. But so here's my question then. If it's just a really good spring training, what would he have to do then to be like, oh, he's ready? Have a like what would you say? Like would he have to have a Trace Thompson level spring training? That's rare, right? There's a reason everyone in the nation's talking about Trace Thompson right now. It's because it doesn't happen all that much. But I don't know, dude. It's going to be interesting. But again, you go back to the quality of opponent. Roman hasn't faced the players Marcelo has, and Marcelo's done well against big league guys. The problem with Marcelo. The problem with Marcelo is Roman came in here. If Roman was having a spring training like Marcelo was, I think you sit there and you say, yeah, I could see how he could force his way onto this team. The problem with Meyer is where, right? Where do you put him if he were to force his way onto this team? He's never played second base. You can't say second base. He's never played the outfield. You can't really say the outfield. Both of those would require him starting the year in AAA. It'd either have to be third base or shortstop. You would have to have Trevor Story go down with an injury. Or you'd have to have Bregman play second, Meyer play third, and Devers DH. But then that'd be okay. You get the idea of putting Bregman at third, right? He's a Gold Glove defensive third baseman. He's a prominently experienced player in Major League Baseball. Meyer's totally unproven. It's not a thing to just sort of push Devers out of third base for a guy like Marcelo. I don't know. Right? I agree with you, versatility, right? Unfortunately, I don't think Roman's done enough to force the Red Sox hand. And Christian Campbell certainly hasn't. The only one you can make a case for is Marcelo, who's just absolutely tearing it up and appears to not want to slow down. But that's the one dude, right? That's the one dude that it was like, yeah, that's the guy that you were going to have. Johan Duran. This will be interesting. Speaking of it, it's Johan Duran versus Marcelo Meyer right now. See how this one goes, huh? Anthony also went 2 for 2 or 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So that is that bumped his OPS down a bit. But again, Roman getting sick kind of threw everything off. This is my point, right? Right now, Marcel Meyer is going up against one of the best closers in the sport. And we'll see how he does, but, he's been the only one that's been facing legitimate people. How many home runs does Thompson have? 6, I think. 6? Does that sound right? I mean, I could look it up. I don't feel like looking it up. If we're being totally honest, I just don't feel like looking it up. Point and laugh at the Yankees. The only way I'm pointing and laughing at the Yankees is when we beat them. And I say we because I'm fully invested in this Red Sox team. Fully invested. Heart, body, soul invested. 3-2 count for Marcelo against Johan Duran. Is it Johan or Johan? Like a 6-pitch at bat against Johan Duran. This is a big league at bat. You know what I mean? This is a legit big league at bat, and he's holding his own a bit. I agree with you, Chance, but like Marcel looks the most ready, dude. I just it's interesting to me that they haven't had him try and learn. All right, so swing and miss, but still. 8-pitch at bat against Johan Duran is not something easy to do, even if he is 85%. I'm surprised they haven't had Marcel Meyer play any second base. He's only played shortstop and third base this spring. To me, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Why not get him? If you're getting him third base experience, why not get him second base as well? I don't think it's really a massive deal for him to be a lefty. You had David Hamilton out there. You had, for the love of God, you had Emmanuel Valdez out there, right? Marcel is probably a better defender than Valdez. He's probably not better defender than Hamilton. He's pretty good, but he's at least better than Emmanuel Valdez. If you were okay putting him out there, I don't know. because they will have Hamilton or Grissom play that spot. I get that. But I don't know. No, neither of those guys are in remotely as well as Marcelo is right now. And again, that's all we have to base it off of. That's it. That makes me think that the Sox think Story will get hurt, then call up Meyer. I think they're just planning on it. It's really the only thing you can do, right? If you sit there and say, oh, well, Story's going to play a full year, we're going to have Marcelo play second. I get that, right? You can't go into a season saying that, but my point is, if you have him split time between shortstop, third, and second base this season, what's the harm, right? What's the harm here? Only way I think it'll be different is if Abreu needs at least a month off than Anthony over Campbell. I don't think the only way I think Abreu or the only way I think Anthony is on the team to start the year is if Abreu's going to miss multiple months. He's not ready for Boston. Grissom's been hitting well lately. It's pretty solid, dude. And the only thing is there's just, it's two doubles. It's 250, 308 on base percentage, 333 slug. The slug that's up there, he's a solid everyday player. I feel like people expect Grissom to be like this all-star MVP candidate. If he's just like a regular player, right? If he's just a regular player, I don't think anyone will have a problem with him. They messed Xander up at a young age, bouncing him around. How did they mess Xander up? He was the captain of a 2018 World Series team. He was the, not official captain, but he was a leader on that team. He was a big leader in 2021, face of the franchise for a long time. I don't know how they. I don't know how they messed Xander up. I think you point to better positional player changes that mess players up than Xander coming up as a third baseman and moving back to shortstop. Especially when you consider third base and shortstop have pretty similar. Yeah, but Xander was never a defensive forward player. Wissaman moving the big three up and down, and from Worcester, they're acting like it hasn't been happening for 100 plus years. The difference is, Keith, is that these are supposed to be, right, future big pieces of this team. What you're doing is, if you're bouncing them up and down, you're never really giving them the opportunity to improve at the big league level. So if you sit there and you say, okay, Roman Anthony, until you do poorly, you're going to be in Major League Baseball. And the second you do poorly, you're going to get kicked back down into AAA. And we're just going to keep doing that all year until you finally don't have a bad spot. Well, how is he supposed? It's like anything else in life, right? If you don't fail and figure out why you're failing, you're never going to get better. You're just going to continue to keep doing the same thing and run into the same hurdles, and then you essentially quit. Right? That's essentially what ends up happening here. And it's not their fault that they're quitting. It's the company's fault, essentially, that they're quitting. Like here's a prime example. Let's take baseball out of it. Let's say you're working on a spreadsheet. And every single time you work on this spreadsheet, you do one formula wrong. And it messes up the whole thing. But instead of your boss saying, here's what you did wrong, here's how you fix it, your boss says, forget it, I'm giving it to Dale, we'll try again next month. Well, now you don't know how you messed up the formula. So you sit there and then the next month you do the same thing because that's all you know how to do, and you keep messing up that formula. Maybe you try something else because you can't figure out that formula, and then all of a sudden you mess something else somewhere else in the document, right? You're never able to pinpoint exactly what went wrong. The idea with these guys is you're supposed to be up here and you're supposed to go through it. You're not going to be successful. Baseball's a game of failure. We know this, right? There are going to be weeks where you just can't make contact with a baseball, right? Where you just can't make contact with a baseball. You got to figure out how to get through that and then be successful again. If you can't figure that out, you're not going to be a successful big leaguer. And obviously there's a limit, right? If you go through a full month and all of a sudden you're still not producing like that, like Jackson Holiday last year, send him back down and then we'll see what happens when you bring him back up. But I'm saying for like 2 weeks, you can't do that every single time. Have a good night, AJ. Who showed promise in today's game? Whitlock and Chapman, I think, are the standouts. Tristan Casas set his first home run of the year. But Whitlock struck out 2 in 1 inning of work. Chapman struck out 2 in 1 inning of work. All against big leaguers, too, which was cool. So those are the 2, in my opinion, that stand out. Who is your exceeds expectations player this year? Nick Sogard. So there's like no way to watch these Sox games. Shore isn't Kevin. I would love to be able to watch them. Certainly can't. He sure did. But then he got 3 swing and misses right there. That's 2 outs. Do I think it's looking? I think the bullpen's looking okay. The only spot in the bullpen is the closer role. But the reason I'm not totally panicked yet is because you've got so many options, right? Someone is going to be successful in that closing role. Whether it is one of these experienced guys in Hendricks or Chapman, or whether it's someone with a little bit less experience like Whitlock, or it's someone with no experience like Slayton or Guerrero, you're going to have someone in there because of the depth that you've built up that is going to be successful, that you are going to find works really well for you. So that's why I'm not like crazy, oh my God, concerned with the bullpen yet. Now that's not to say if by, month 1, they've blown 4 games and you're sitting there and you're saying, whoa, right? No one's figuring out exactly how to do it. Then you could start to be like, hey guys, we may have an issue here. But until then, it's something, in my opinion, the good news is that we're sitting here and we're not debating, can the Red Sox put together enough bats to be competitive? Do the Red Sox have enough starters to be competitive, right? We're talking about one position in the bullpen. Yes, it's an important one, obviously, but it could be much worse, and I think that's sort of the silver lining here. And again, it's not as though the Red Sox don't have options. It's just we don't know which option is going to work. David Robertson, I don't think you sign as a closer. I don't think you sign David Robertson as a closer. If you're going to sign David Robertson, it would be mostly as a setup man. Why is no one signed Robertson? I don't know. There are a couple of theories I guess you could put together. 1, he wants a multi-year deal, and teams don't want to give him a multi-year deal. 2, no one's given him a deal, right? That's the obvious one. 3, he's not passing medicals. 3 of those, so could be any of them. Seen rankings that rank the Red Sox top in the AL in lineup and rotation? Yeah, most people. It's neither, Joe. It's neither. Mark, for the first time in a while, right? You're sitting there and you're saying, I could see how. You could see how they could be both of those. And that's my point, right? It's you finally come into a season with a ton of optimism. And I think that's good. All right, we're trying the water bottle again. Is it cutting out for anyone else? Anthony makes the team? I don't think Anthony makes the team now. Because on my end, no dropped frames. Connection's good. CPU usage is fine. 60 FPS. I don't have an issue. Bane, that might be on your end, my guy. but not the highest of expectations for some other starting pitchers. So you're totally writing off Houck after the season he had last year? You're totally writing him off? There are definitely questions with the rotation that you can make, right? Bueller, I think, is a giant question mark. Giolito's a giant question mark. Bayo's a bit of a question mark. Cutter's a bit of a question mark. But you also look at it and you say, okay, so what is the worst that this rotation can be? Right? What's worst case scenario? Outside of injury, right? Crochet's really good. Houck's very mediocre. Maybe he jumps up to a 4 ERA. But even if like the odds of every single one of these people, being worst case scenario, it's very Red Sox over the last couple of years. It doesn't feel like the Red Sox now. That is true, Mark. Everyone in the second half drop off, it wasn't really a second half drop off, Kevin. If you actually dive into the statistics, it's about 3 weeks. It's about 3 weeks where Cutter Crawford really dropped off. Then he made adjustments and he pitched the rest of the season. It wasn't as dominant, but it was still like a 3.50 ERA. I think right now Fitz is my pick. I think 27. That's Nick, by the way. For you guys who watch the spring training footage, that's Nick. He's the one who does it. Priest is good though. I don't know. Yeah, right now if Giolito goes to the IL, which is a real possibility, even if he misses just one start and it's 10, 15 days or whatever on the IL, it's going to happen if he misses one start. It's both of them have to be in the rotation because then you're losing 3 pitchers and you're down to 4. So both of them need to be, or you're down to 3. Both of them need to be in the rotation. Before, if Giolito's in and it becomes down to Priest or Fitz, it's kind of a tough question. Fitz has looked better, but Fitz is also coming out of the bullpen. Fitz hasn't had real starts yet. Not that matters at this point in spring training, but Priester Priester's looked solid too in a few games. I don't know. He's not a tight end. I kind of like baseball players with high numbers. You never see them. Like, when was the last time? I know they're reserved for rookies, and that's obviously why. But when was the last time we had like a legendary number 76 or like 83 or whatever? It was like 99 was Doogie, right? And for like a spurt there in the first half of 23, we were like, okay, 99. Oh, Judge, I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute moron for that. But yeah, I don't know. Right? With high numbers, I would love to see someone on the Red Sox, let's say specifically, dominate as like a lower number. Like the last one I don't know. I can't even think of like a Rafi's not injured now. 72 is Fisk in Chicago. See, I love that. It's so unique, right? You always see, the best players in the league are, Soto at like, what was he, 22? I'm so bad with numbers, dude. I'm so bad. Like your best players, like Duran moves down. Duran moves down. Say Don moved down. Devers obviously moved down to 11. Even what's Casas? Is he 35 or 25? See, this is what I mean. I'm so bad with player numbers. We flipped it in Chicago. Doesn't count then. I want someone who came up as a high number. I want someone who came up as a high number and stayed a high number throughout their career. Like if Xander Bogaerts just stayed, what was he, 72 when he came up? Casas is, yeah. I mean, I have a literal emote that has Casas at 36. Hey, I'm glad you like it, Kevin. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't think you're crazy, CH. I think a lot of people like it, like this team. Bayo's 66. Good point. Good point. Bayo could be my guy then. I need to get a Bayo jersey. Wonder if Durant hits 30 homers. If Durant hits 25, I'm happy. Even if Durant hits 19, I'm happy, dude. If Durant is just a on base machine with 19 home runs, I'm happy. He hit 21 last year. If he hits if he hits 16 home runs, but has like 43 doubles, I'm fine. How long is Crawford going to be out? Sounds like at least a couple of years. Years. Oh my God. What am I talking about? A couple of months. You know what I mean? I would assume so, Mark. I'd assume most I would assume most professional sports, retire the number 69 permanently. Crawford's out to next century. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's not. Yeah. Cutter Crawford not coming back till 2028. They announced. They're gonna hold on to him though. Cedon is 43. Yeah, he changed his number down, didn't he? Cedon's number 3 now, I think. Is that right? Number 3 sounds right. Sounds like Chapman's winning the Who Do You Have Faith in to be the closer role. I wouldn't be surprised if Chapman was the closer coming out of spring training. I wouldn't be. Yeah, Durant's still 16. Not too many number changes. I think Willier went down a little bit. I don't even know what Hunter Biden looks like. Who's number 13? This is what I mean. I'm so bad. What's up, Jeff? It's probably not a pitcher that wears 13. Is 13 available? Grissom's 5. Cedon's 3. They don't have a 13. There's your answer. Nick's got it. I'm good, Jeff. How you doing? Under over 200 home runs. How many did the Red Sox have last year? Okay, no, I don't want 2025. Also, the Yankees already have 32 home runs this spring. It's kind of wild. Okay. The Red Sox had 194 home runs last year. Do we think it's going to be above or below that? I'm going to say above. Hey, congratulations, Jeff. That's awesome. Hey, I believe you, CH. Cora is 13. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I knew that too. I don't know why that just totally didn't even register at all. I say the Red Sox hit more home runs than they do last year. I don't know if it's over 200. The A's actually hit 196, which is pretty impressive. The Orioles hit 235. Yankees led the league with 237. Makes sense between Soto and Judge. I think they could sneak over. Because you got to imagine you lost what, 30 home runs from O'Neill, but going into the year you've got a healthy Casas, a healthy Story, you've got Bregman, a healthier Devers. Second year Cedon, potentially second year Willier probably hits a little bit more home run potential. Yeah, I think they get over 200. I could see him at like the Mets level last year, which was 207. How many home runs does Devers hit if Garrett Cole pitches to him all year? Oh, we could do the math. In 16 games, Rafael Devers has 8 home runs. So if you were to play him for 162 games, my dude would have 80 home runs. 80? I'm down. Yeah, true. The A's will probably have one of the highest home run totals in baseball. I wonder if the Rays get a boost too playing in a minor league stadium. Or they're not even. They're playing in a spring training stadium. No, Garrett Cole won't be back until like mid-season next year. Which is crazy. Bottom of the lineup has some pop. Yeah, say Don's definitely got some pop. Wong's got some pop. Who else would be down there with him? Willier, 789. Yeah, it's some pretty decent pop. Right? Because 6, well, I guess who would 6 be? Duran, Devers, Bregman, Casas, Story. Massa, I guess. Who I should keep an eye on in Greenville this year. Is that high A or low A? It's high A, right? Greenville? 160 intentional walks. Yeah, true. True. Franklin Arias, Jeff. Probably Yoel Cespedes. Paez on the pitching side of things, probably. Delvinson Reyes. A lot of international guys, I think, get to high A at some point this year. Peyton Tolle probably starts there. Conley Early's with the Sea Dogs. Did Cole? Yeah, I think Cole got full Tommy John. A healthier version of this new jacked Masada Yoshida can hit 20 homers. If he gets the chance, I don't know how many games he's going to play this year. If he gets the chance, I think he could hit 20. What did he hit his rookie year? Well, his first year in MLB. How many home runs was that? That was like 15, right? Who's hitting the first home run of the year? I think it'll be Devers, and I think people are going to forget they said anything about him this offseason at all. Hey, enjoy the draft. All right, Mark. Hey, enjoy the sushi, man. Hey, you eat sushi a lot. I wish I ate it as much as you did. 15 home runs, 140 games from Austin last year, or 2023. I think he can get there. Yeah. Yeah, if I'm placing bet, you know what I'm placing a bet on the first home run of the year from? I'm placing a bet on Trevor Story. Where's Devers? He's playing on the backfields. We already went over this. I'm not going to do the rant again. But if you're worried about Devers, don't be. Durant takes the leadoff home run in game 1. Ooh, that's a good bet. I think Trace Thompson's great this spring. I don't think it's stop what? Edwin, stop what? What crap does Rafael Devers? I'm going to get into it again. I will defend Rafael Devers to the day I die. What crap? No, you're about to hear it again, Andrew. Because Edwin is either uneducated or hasn't been paying attention. So we're going to educate you. But first I need to know why you don't like Rafael Devers. He's got to play with his team, man. Let me ask you something, Edwin. You're Rafael Devers, right? Your entire swing path had to change last year because you played with this team. Because you gave everything you could. No, Edwin. I'm gonna defend Rafael Devers because you can't just come in here and be like, "What the hell, man? I'm sick of his shit," and not know what you're talking about. He's not hurt. Everyone's saying he's hurt, guys. Here is what I'm trying to tell you. And again, this is educational. Okay? Look into the full quotes. I'm going to bring it back up. I'm bringing it back up. We're rereading it. Sorry if you've been here this entire time. We're rereading it. Clearly it's not, Edwin, because you threw him under the bus the second you were unhappy with one press conference, right? We had a bad press conference. This guy stinks. Let's go fully over what Rafael Devers is working on. Okay? He's been on point as far as what he needs so far this swing. The whole path and the inside pitch is something that he lost last year because of the shoulder. So Rafael Devers played through those shoulder injuries to be with his team, correct? And by doing so, he messed up his bat path because he needed to try to find a bat path that he could actually swing the bat with. He's been working very hard on that path. It's not a different swing, just a different path, to be honest with you. It's been trending in the right direction. He's been a little bit off. So you sit there, you take that, you say, hey, wait a second. Why wouldn't Rafael Devers be playing with his team? Right? What would he be doing, or what could he possibly be doing that he's not? He must be sitting on his butt, right? It can't possibly be the fact. It can't possibly be the fact that he's sitting there in the backfields facing the highest level of competition he could face in spring training, which are his teammates for 8 at-bats a day. Couldn't possibly be that, right? Because Edwin, let's between me and you, let me ask you a question point blank. What do you think is more beneficial to getting Rafael Devers' bat path on track again? Playing one spring training game where he gets an at-bat against one major league starter, maybe one MLB reliever, and then possibly 2 AA starters, versus 8 at-bats against Garrett Crochet and Walker Buehler. Which one, in your eyes, if you are a coach on this Red Sox team, are you sitting there saying, wait a second, which one probably is more beneficial for Rafael Devers to go back to back against 2 of our best pitchers, 2 of the best pitchers, one of the best pitchers in all Major League Baseball in Garrett Crochet, and Walker Buehler, who was at one point one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, or going 1 at-bat, maybe an inning or 2 on the field, new pitcher, an at-bat, maybe a couple innings on the field, a AA pitcher taken out for the day. Which one to you is more beneficial? And now I got to pull up chat back up because it quit on me again. I'm pulling it back up. Yeah, they're definitely aliens. What up, Dan? Showed up out of shape. He's the exact same weight he was last year. No one complained about his weight last year when he was absolutely crushing people. Tired of this crap? I'm tired of your crap, KY. I'm tired of you sitting there being like, oh, Devers is out of shape. And then every year he comes in the exact same weight, and he's one of the top 25 hitters in the entire sport. But you guys sit there and you complain about his weight because he doesn't have a six-pack abs, when your best hitter in the history of this franchise, the most storied player, the face of the Boston Red Sox until the end of time, was David Ortiz, who weighed more than Rafael Devers during his playing days. More. Like, I sit here, and how do you call yourself a Red Sox fan? How do you call yourself a Red Sox fan if you're going to sit there and point at him and go, Tubby? The Red Sox won 2 World Series on the backs of 2 dudes with beer bellies. I mean, genuinely. Like, yeah, I'm going to get upset. I'm going to. I'm good. This is the one thing where I won't take crap. Like, right. It's just so dumb. He led the league in errors every year. I don't care. Rafael Devers is a top 25 bat in Major League Baseball. Top 25. I don't care. I don't care. Truly don't. I don't care. You had Manny Ramirez, statistically the worst outfielder in the sport, in left field. For what? The better part of a decade? And you have the nerve to sit there and be like, the Red Sox can't win with this fat tub of lard over at third base, huh? Does everyone think Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who, by the way, is probably going to get $600 million, do you think he's out of shape? They weigh the exact same. Like, I don't... When you were writing out a list of the greatest baseball players in Red Sox history, you're putting Manny Ramirez, you're putting David Ortiz on there. And yet you still have people who come in here with the nerve to be like, oh, yeah, look at this fatso. What are we doing? I mean, genuinely. God, figure it out, guys. We got the Red Sox winning a game. Red Sox just walked it off. And I'm over here arguing about weight. God. Yeah, this is the second week in a row I've worn the Led Zeppelin shirt on a live stream. I don't know why. It's just in the rotation, I guess. Sure was, Jennifer. Sure was. Like, if you go through, now that you got me thinking, if you go through the World Series MVPs and tell me which one of them, right, which one of them was in stellar shape, it's Steve Pearce. It's Steve Pearce. It's Steve Pearce, David Ortiz, Mike Lowell, who, all right, maybe, right? Maybe. And Manny Ramirez. Okay, why? There's no disagreeing. You're just wrong. I'm sorry. Right? You're right about the errors. You're wrong about it being because of his weight. Rafael Devers isn't out there making errors because he's fat. If you genuinely think that, I would love to put you guys out there on the field and smack ground balls at you and see how you do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not because he's overweight. That's an absurd thing. In fact, his range is better than the average third baseman. I need a drink of water. This is so ridiculous. Stuck to right field. How many homers does Bregman hit this year? Well, thanks for subscribing, my friend. Welcome in. I'm not usually this mad. I swear. I'm not usually this mad. Only there are two players that get me this fired up. Rafael Devers and Tristan Casas. Home runs for Bregman. I'm going to go... I'm going to say it's 28. I'm going to say he hits 28. I'm going to say it's a lot of doubles, though. I think that's going to be something that stands out. I'm going to say that stands out. How many doubles did he have last year? What's up, Elliot? You're going to games 1 and 2? Man, lucky. I'm going to opening day for the Red Sox, and then I'm going to go to the game after. So the first 2 games at Fenway, I'll be there. Who's our big 4 from the 2018 Red Sox? Mookie, Chris Sale. Do I put Steve Pearce in the big 4? I don't know. Benintendi had a great year that year. Xander was good that year. That whole team was good, man. So we had 30 doubles last year. I think he gets up to like 40. I think Bregman hits 40 doubles and 29 home runs. I think he's a monster season. Has he ever had? Yeah, 2022, he had 38 doubles and 23 home runs. I think that's close to what we see from Bregman this year, honestly. Devers, Bed, Sale, Xander. I was tempted to put low key. I was tempted to put Kimbrel in there because he was good during the regular season. There's just the playoffs he sucked, so I don't know if you could put him in there. JD. Yeah, JD. Yeah, I absolutely think they could fight for the division. I think they could win the division. Sorry to hear that, CH. Mike Napoli? Of course I remember Mike Napoli. Is he still with the Cubs? Yeah, JD is a good call. Luca coming in with a... He retired? Suck. Unsubscribe. Luca's on a personal mission to get all 15,679 of you guys to unsubscribe. I can't really put Devers in the big 4 in 2018. Didn't break out until the following season. Yeah, I think it'd be... I think the correct answer is JD, Mookie, Sale, Xander. I think that's the correct answer. I think you can make the argument for a couple of different players, but I think that's the answer. How many wins do you think we're getting? I said 92. Are Red Sox fans kind of glad we didn't get Soto now because we wouldn't have this team? No. I still would have preferred Soto over Bregman. I would have. I would have preferred Soto over almost everybody. I'll see if I can, Jennifer. Luca goes, suck, unsubscribe, and then hi. Luca, what are we doing? What are we doing today, huh? What's going on? Let's check out the chat history, shall we? So you've been a subscriber for 7 months. The first time you've ever commented in any live stream was today. And it was, unsubscribe, I love you, go Red Sox, hi. You know what, Luca? Welcome in, man. What up, Pac-Man? Yeah, dude, if the Red Sox had Soto, they would win this division, I think, outright. I love Bregman. Soto's a different beast, dude. He just is. You know what I mean? I'm also curious if the Red Sox got Soto, do you think the Crochet trade's any different? I don't know. The Yankees are going to be worse than expected. I think injuries have bumped them down, dude. Fangraph still has them at 86 win. I don't know, man. I just, their rotation has dogs in it or can have dogs in it. The Astros wouldn't be a bad spot for Doogie. That's not a bad one. I could see him come back to the Yankees. I would love Doogie back on the Yankees. I'm trying to think of other teams that might be interested. San Francisco, maybe. Angels, kind of. Maybe not Bregman and Walker. I think Walker would still happen. I think Walker would still happen. Bregman definitely doesn't happen. But I'm curious. No, I'm curious if the trade itself looks different. If they go and they get Juan Soto, do they put like a Doogie going to Kansas City? Oh, I could see that. Where'd you hear that? Yeah. Kansas City Royals have tried all winter to improve their outfield, but they haven't had much luck. They offered to Anthony Santander. Interesting. Oh, he's just predicted. That's it. Vladdy over Soto? Yeah, Vladdy's the better fit for sure, but Soto is so good, dude. I don't know what Miami's going to do about that, by the way, versatility. Think we are a World Series team? I absolutely think if they stay healthy, this team can compete for a World Series. I absolutely believe that. I have a little bit more faith that they'll put in a legitimate offer for Vladdy, especially with all the stuff trickling in about how they made a Corbin Burns himself said that the Red Sox had a very, very similar offer to what the Diamondbacks had. He just chose the Diamondbacks. We heard that the Red Sox were willing to match Juan Soto's contract with the Mets if he was guaranteed to come here. We know that they put up big money for Max Fried. Like, they put up big money, and then they end up signing Bregman. I think that's where I was like, okay, all right. Extensions for guys? Yeah. I don't know who the hell wants to stay there, for being honest. I could see them also maybe taking on some salary at the deadline, too. I doubt it, Athletic. There's no way. He'll be too old. See how he works in the regular season? That's just so much. I don't know about Thompson starting in right field. Maybe off the bench and then have Refsnyder play the outfield. I think I'd be more comfortable with that. It's tough for me to be like, yep, what he did in spring training's enough to earn a starting spot. You know what I mean? Like we've been burned on that so many times. Jackie Bradley did it like every year. Dahlbeck did it like every year. That guy Ryan Fitzgerald did it every year, right? Where you'd come in and you'd be like, wow, these dudes are killing it. And they get to the regular season and they're either very mediocre or they're bad defensively or offensively. So I like Trace Thompson. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, do you think I could get Trace Thompson contract details? Maybe I can. Contract details. No, it doesn't say that he is an opt out. Yeah, it doesn't say that he's an opt out in it, so. Right now, I'm saying no, Pac-Man. With the way Story's been and how good Marcelo's been, you might need him pretty soon here. Honestly. Like, you might need him very, very soon, so I don't think so. Yeah. When's Sandy a free agent? Would I give up Devers for Vladdy? No. All right, hey, Jeff, have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Who would I trade for Sandy? I don't know, dude. I would have to see how he's doing. They're not going to trade him until the deadline. So it'd be half a year plus 26, and then he'd be a free agent. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Right now, I'm not giving up Meyer. I'm just not doing it. With the situation at shortstop, I'm not doing it. Not that there's like a situation to be worried about right now. My point is just in general over the last 3 years. How many times over the last 3 years have we been like, God, I can't wait for Marcelo? You know what I mean? Even with his injury history, it's still like 90, 95 games, I'm so high on Marcelo Meyer, though. I think he could be Roman's so good. Roman, it's tough to be like, oh yeah, Marcelo's gonna be better than Roman. Dude, Marcelo could be really, really good. Like genuinely, I just can't sit here and in good faith be like, yeah, trade Marcelo. Even for like Sandy's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but he's also coming off of Tommy John, right? And if they're not going to trade him at the deadline, there's going to be. I know they're putting him on an innings limit at this point in the year, so we can go all out for teams at the deadline, which is fine. But I don't know. Story having a back issue. It's just a little bit of back tightness. He'll be back in games tomorrow, George. He's already kind of penciled into the. So tomorrow is the Fenway Futures game for those of you guys who don't know, or I guess the spring breakout's really better. The major league way of putting it. So it's all the best Red Sox minor league talent playing in a spring training game. So instead, the Red Sox are doing a spring training game on the backfield against, I think it's the Twins or something. And Trevor Story and Rafi are playing on the backfield too. Yeah, Pac-Man. I'm not saying he's not great. He's fantastic, right? He's a Cy Young winner. He's fantastic. My point is we don't know. Again, they're not going to trade him before opening day. So we need to reassess the situation at the deadline. It's tough for me to sit here and be like, yeah, we need to get rid of Marcelo right now. Why is Crochet not pitching? I don't know where you're seeing that. He is pitching. Unless Yoshida has some breakout season, I don't see him suiting up in a Red Sox uniform after the season. They could trade him for Sandy. The Marlins aren't going to take just Yoshida for Sandy. You would have to put in a lot more than that. A lot more. Yeah, Max, I don't know where you're getting not pitching. Crochet is Crochet's having a great spring training. No, not Garrett Richards. The great Garrett Richards. I'm not even going to acknowledge that, dude. You know it's for more than just diarrhea. Get over yourself. Yeah, Crochet's thrown 6 innings, 3 starts. Hasn't allowed an earned run yet. Struck out 14 of the 28 batters he's faced, half of them, and has walked 5. Kind of CH. Sports Illustrated is predicting Sox to sign Dave Robinson before this season starts. Yeah, I'll be down with that. I know, dude. I go live and the Red Sox walk it off. Crazy. Crazy how that works. Just has not been pitching lately. He literally started this weekend? He literally started this weekend. I don't know what you're talking about. Sandy, one more time, you getting timed out, dude. Dodgers are scary. Yeah, the Dodgers are terrifying. Dodgers are absolutely terrifying. But we've seen, we've seen more we've seen teams fail. We've seen teams fail that have been these juggernauts too. I always hated when people were like, doesn't matter. Dodgers will win the World Series. Since when in baseball is it just the best team? The best team wins every time. That's like the beauty of baseball. I like Sean Newcomb a lot, actually. He's been looking really good. This is a guy who we talked about coming into the spring. The only thing with Sean is he's just not missing bats. Oh, that's ridiculous, CH. I'd have both Priester and Fitz on the team since starts don't usually go more than 5 innings at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I think both of them are going to be on the team. Yeah, Liam Hendricks does not look great so far. Major League Records 11 by Ryan Howard. Hey, Trace Thompson's closing in. Trace Thompson's closing in on the Red Sox record. Wonder if that'll be like something that people talk about if he does it. Like who? Like I don't know. Newcomb's not a starter, Pac-Man. Newcomb is strictly a reliever. He maybe has some experience starting, but yeah, he started one season in Major League Baseball, and the rest has been relief. I don't think they're looking at him as a starter. Last time Crochet pitched was Wednesday. Yeah, it's just regular spring training, man. There's no injury issues with Crochet. He was literally throwing to Rafael Devers today. He did a live at bats against Rafi today. He's fine. It'd be really interesting if the Dodgers just like couldn't put it together. So who will pick up for Bayo, Cutter, and Giolito? Fitz and Priester, Pac-Man. Richard Fitz, Quinn Priester. They'll both be on the roster. If Giolito ends up on the IL. If he doesn't, okay, then you only need one of those two guys. Because even with Bayo and Cutter on the IL, that's still 5 players. The one thing I'm not worried about this season is Red Sox pitching depth. Like, I'm really not. It's like the one thing. Like, unless Crochet goes down. You know, unless Crochet goes down, then we have a big, big issue. But if Crochet stays healthy. Hey, good luck, Lucas. It's a long one, man. Crochet's looked awesome. The walks have been scary. Dude, worrying about the walks in spring training is something I don't do, especially when you have so many strikeouts. Like he had one game where he walked a lot of people. Outside of that, he has one walk in his other 2 starts, and he struck out 14. You got your Garrett Crochet jersey. I'm waiting until the new City Connect jerseys come out, and then I'm gonna buy a Crochet jersey, I think. But I'm waiting until then. All right, chat. Man, I think we've talked about everything we could possibly talk about. You even got a classic Red Seat Corbin hold your feelings in idiot rant. You're losing viewers, dummy rant. I'm always I don't care if we go from 150 viewers to 10. Right? I will rant about Rafael Devers all day long. Regardless, I think that's where we're going to call it. We've talked about, I mean, quite literally anything we could talk about with this Red Sox team right now, which is great. That's why these are here. We have one more spring training live stream. Lucas, yeah, maybe, but at the deadline. I don't think he's going to get traded before the regular season. Next week is our last live stream before regular season. Isn't that crazy? Is my math right, or am I an idiot? No, yeah. It's next week, and then it's opening day. So we're getting there, folks. Season starts on Thursday. Doesn't matter. We will we'll live stream. We'll be live for opening day for sure. We'll probably start right around either right around first pitch or an hour before first pitch, and we'll go to the game's over. We do it every year. So we've got plenty of time here. But we are just 2 weeks away from our opening day live stream, and that's crazy. Hopefully there's some good stuff, by the way, to come for the opening day live stream. I'm working on some things. We'll see. You want to show off your next purchase? Okay. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for that. But again, I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. There isn't a ton of Red Sox news going on right now. So the fact that you guys were in here for like 2 hours, pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool stuff. Means a lot to me. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, I promise you I don't yell at chat this often. I do make Red Sox content every day, and we do these once a week. And we're getting to the regular season, so make sure you're in here. Buy a championship belt? That's sick, Mike. Make sure you guys have liked the video as well. Helps the videos out a lot. Lets me know you're enjoying the content, right? The less likes I get, the different content I make. So you only subscribe for the yelling. Some people, I think, do enjoy watching me get incredibly mad. Either way, guys, thank you all very much for being here. And as always, I will see you all in the red seat.